I'm Richard Cox.
And I'm Sharon Alexander.
And you're listening to the show on RichardIanCox.com. It's episode number 17. Woo! Ow! Ow! Oh my gosh. We are so erudite.
Ow, ow, ow,
We are the most upmarket show in the world. Yes! It is our Christmas Hana Kwanzaa special. We encompass all the holidays in one. Yeah, well, listen, it's been so long since we've actually recorded and put up an episode.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to wait until we were closer to Christmas. We're actually recording this on the 8th.
Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Yes, exactly. We're recording it on the 8th, which I believe is the last day of Hanukkah this year. So
and
happy Hanukkah.
It's the 8th of 2009, but we do care. we do hope you're still interested.
Oh, good grief. Well, I can guarantee you this won't be up until much closer to Christmas by the time I've edited
like
this
February.
thing. Oh,
it'll be Easter.
It'll
and we'll
be Easter. Happy Easter special. Yay.
Yeah.
We've got a packed show. We've got 3 video questions. No, 4. 4, count them, 4. Ow, video questions.
Amy Jean Gordon. Sorry.
Amy Jean Gordon, yes, there you go.
No, that just slipped out.
The 11th show in a row, I think, where we've mentioned her name.
Yeah.
Amy Jean. So we've got video questions up the hoo-ha, which is the best place to keep them.
I love them. Love them.
Wait,
yes,
you love them
up the hoo-ha? No, sorry.
Wow.
That
got blue
love
fast.
Them up the hoo-ha. Oh, okay.
Oh, well, it is a show night. Alan?
Cut.
Listen, we've got video questions from Sharon Henry, from Joanna Enriquez, from Karen Santora, and from Robin Christensen. So we're really excited to get to those. We do have a ton of questions, so we won't get to them all. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Aren't you excited?
But we'll do our absolute darndest to get them all in if we can. So listen, I think without further ado, we should move on. WikiLeaks has exposed it as the 10th greatest global security threat. It's the rundown. Bow chicka bow bow is right. The rundown, now the audio porn version of the rundown, featuring number 1. This actually segues beautifully. The TSA procedure outrage.
Oh,
people are freaking out. Is it a pat down or a feel up? Sharon?
It's both, Richard. It's both.
It's both.
Really. It's one of the Kardashian women, the tallest one.
The moderately
Khloe?
Talented one. Sure. Sure.
Look, they're smart. They okay, whatever.
Right.
Yes, the tall one made some comment on a show the other day about how it was effective to getting raped, and she came under much fire under that.
Yeah, that seems a little extreme.
Or over that, under that,
under that, or over
that was
it.
A Freudian slip.
There are questions up the
she
up the
came
hoo-ha.
Under much fire under the pat down.
Well, there are pills for that.
Not that kind of pill.
Oh,
Just
I see.
sleep, it'll be okay.
It wasn't burning and peeing. Okay, I'm sorry.
Cut.
No,
okay,
listen, we said this was going to be a more out there show now. Because
time for the holidays.
Yes, I've thrown off the shackles of oppression.
And it's about time, Richard.
Sure.
It's about time, really. Now you can FML your Facebook status for the first time ever.
Yes, absolutely.
No, okay, but really,
Yeah.
I agree with her to a certain extent. It's
Yeah.
like, somebody's harshly rubbing the crease of your butt and grabbing your boobs, and
Right.
otherwise you can go stand in this room and have everybody see, God's given glory. It's that's
Right.
that's a lot. I think it's too much.
I think it's a little extreme. I honestly, well, 2 things. Number 1, this is kind of a retroactive sort of thing. I genuinely don't think, I could be wrong, but I genuinely don't think that the big bad evil terrorists, which they are going to go that route again. In terms of the plane stuff, because we're kind of hip to that groove. And I don't think it would be as successful. And I don't think that that's their next point of entry. And I think that, so to speak, and I think that, a lot of this is about show, but it's all a lot, way too late. And listen, I'll tell you, the last time I traveled down to the States to go to a convention, which was NecoCon, by the way, which I had a great time at. I was going through that. Ow, ow, ow! I was going through security actually in Vancouver. So in Vancouver, it's the Canadians guys, and it's not the TSA. And I was randomly selected for the full search thing, like in a line where everyone was getting the total search. So everyone's bags were getting gone through. Everybody was getting the old either the pat down or the go through the scanner thing. And in the line in front of me was a family of 5, 3 young children, and they were all sort of searched as they went through. Now, it's fine, but my point is this: you're not going to catch terrorists by randomly picking people. You know what you should look for when looking for terrorists? The really sweaty guy. The one who's super nervous. That sort of stuff. The eyes with the furtive looks, or the guy who's way too calm. Anyway, but I went through, and the guy said, "Do you want the scanner?" And they said, "You've been selected." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "Well, because you stood on a mat and the computer told you to come here." And I said, "Okay, so it's a random thing, fine." I was a little put out, and they said, "Do you want the scanner? Or do you want the pat down?" And I said, "Well, I'll have the pat down, please. Any action you can get where you can get it." And I looked at the guy. I wasn't really happy, and I wasn't glaring at him, but I was eyeing him.
But you made eye
I was
contact
making
while you
eye
had the pat
contact.
down.
Yeah, and I was looking at the guy as he was doing it. He's this poor middle-aged guy, and honestly, he did the most cursory pat down ever. And I basically intimidated him out of patting me down, which I think that's a problem. And then further on, I went to go and get my bag, and they literally said, "Can you open your bag, please, sir?" And I opened the bag, and they sort of stuck a pen around in there, and then, "Okay, thank you." I'm like, okay, so you're randomly selecting people, and then you're deciding on your own that they're probably not the bad guys. So then you go through this sort of cursory thing. You're either doing it or you're not. You know what I mean? I think some of the outrage has been a little bit insane, but I do agree that it all seems an awful lot of an invasive thing. Because
It's almost, depending what side of the fence you're on, I think
yeah,
it's almost a bit pornographic. If you watch even just the,
it is.
go for a YouTube pat down, and they're like in the crease, and they're in the
Yeah.
boobs, and I mean,
Well, and
they're
here's
in
the
there.
thing. If you're really committed to doing something terrible, the most likely place you're going to put this is the same place they put it when they go to jail. Up the hoo-ha. No
Right.
one's checking there. And a pat down can't find it there, so it's it is that we're looking for the most obvious moronic places for you to secrete things.
Well,
And
moronic. It's like, my boobs are so big I can hide a bomb under one of them.
but it's this weird, like, my favorite was the shoe bomber thing. Right after that, they banned people from bringing lighters on planes so as not to
And
light
shoes.
C4, which generally has to be exploded using a timer pencil, which is an explosive in and of itself. It is not generally very effective when lit by a match. Anyways, but the point is that you could bring matches onto planes. Guess what the guy used to light the shoe bomb? Matches. Like,
Hmm.
okay. None of that made any sense. Anyways,
Well,
yeah,
but
I
yeah,
just
you
think
can
it's
take
kind of funny.
matches, but your shoes are coming off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's kind of funny. And they have you
But
take them off a number of times.
part of me gets it. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
you want to see me in my birthday suit? Woo, go.
Sure.
That's gonna keep us safe. But
Totally.
the whole culture of fear is a little too much for
Well,
me,
and
because
you know what?
the
That's
bottom
the
line is,
terrorists winning.
and even exactly, because even if it is in fact true and necessary,
Hmm.
and that's debatable a bit to
Sure.
me
Sure.
personally.
Yep.
You can't live that way.
No.
You can't live that way. You can't live your life that way. You still
No.
you have to just feel my boob. I'm going to Disneyland. Goodbye.
Well, and listen, I've got the perfect solution for all of this. You have a series of very hot male TSA people and very hot female TSA people, and then you get to pick.
Oh, now we need to segue into Dancing with the Stars.
But honestly, right? Like, I just think that would clear up a lot of the issues.
Right?
Yeah, totally. If you're going to get felt up, you might as well find someone, that you like when they're doing it. That's my
Bum, chicka,
feeling.
bum, bum. Ow.
All right, number 2 on the rundown. This is a big one. There was a huge announcement on iTunes. It's coming. It's coming, a huge announcement. It's coming, a massive announcement. And what was the announcement? The announcement was that the Beatles were on iTunes. And I have to ask, do we really care? Now, I like the Beatles. I love the Beatles. The Beatles are a great band. But the chances are that if you love the Beatles and you're my age, you already have all the the CDs. You've already uploaded them to your computer. They're already on your library. And what you get out of this massive sort of new thing with the Beatles on iTunes is you now get album art, which you didn't get before. And if you don't love the Beatles or know anything about them, why? And two, would you really suddenly go, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to buy everything they have on iTunes"? What did you think, Sharon, when they announced the Beatles on iTunes? Was it as big a watershed moment for you as it kind of wasn't for me?
No, I agree. And on a previous show, we talked about the fact that one of my moments with my parents getting divorced,
Right.
the Beatles were somebody that I would listen to. That was like
Yeah.
one of the few times I like music, but I'm more like, let's put on some classical or some New Age shit and I'll
Right.
mellow out. But the Beatles were like this watershed moment, and
Sure.
I used to have a lot of their albums, and I never saved them. I never kept them. I wouldn't go out
Right.
and buy them again. It's not in my lexicon. It's not. So to have them on iTunes again is really exciting, and the fact that you can buy like, the entire thing for
Hmm.
this much money is. I like that it's on there. I think th- there's still such a part of what am I trying to say? Musical history. That sounds
Yeah,
so
totally.
dorky.
No. But I think
Um,
there's absolutely validity to that. Yeah. No. No.
But
No.
I agree, but not everybody has that, and the media has changed so much since they came out. So you have like, five records and two of them are, Sergeant Pepper
Right.
and then you upgraded to 8-track and then you have three cassettes and then you
Sure.
might have one, to have it just all there and accessible and available and to have it available to people who might not, put on their parents' dusty record from the basement.
Right.
I think it's a good thing. I think
Well,
it's about time.
I gotta say though, like discs, like CDs, have been around for 20 odd years, more than that,
Oh
20,
crap! Has it
25,
been that long?
30 years, and
They just came out, Richard. What are you talking about?
I haven't bought a cassette in 20, I don't know how many years, 20 some odd years again, and I have a lot of the Beatles albums. I had a lot of their compilations, a lot of their big collections. I think I've had pretty much all of their albums, and I still have, but I've always owned them on discs. So I've had remastered versions. I've got more original versions, and so like I said, for me, them coming out on it just seemed an awful lot of fanfare and noise about kind of nothing by the time they finally got there. But as I will agree, though, it is a big thing to sort of have their catalog, on that one sort of meeting place on iTunes where you can go and sort of connect. And now with the ping stuff, where you can go and connect and do neat things. But I thought it was a lot of clanging and banging for
Yeah,
some
and I
cool
don't know
stuff.
what the final decision was. I don't know
Yeah.
why they decided to say yes.
I
Who's
understand that there
left?
were some photos of Paul and Ringo. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, number 4 on the list. This is my favorite study in the longest time ever. According to a recent study that I read on the internet, apparently, as many as 1 in 10 men admit to looking at porn online.
What?
Yes! 1 in 10. An entire 10% of the population of men admit to looking at boobies online. That's disgusting. In a
I am
related
so
study,
shocked.
9 in 10 men lie. That is the
Okay.
dumbest study I've ever seen, ever. Like, what was there? Where was their sample? In the Vatican? Even then. Like, come on.
I don't. What you're asking me? I don't understand the definition of ultra, so I don't. I don't know what the definition of porn
All I
is.
know is, well, I think it's pretty straightforward. If someone's not wearing clothes and they're in a photograph and they're online and it's not in black and white, it's
All right,
porn.
so I
Yeah.
brought this up earlier
Right.
briefly.
Yes.
the Argentinian version of Dancing with the Stars?
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
heard about this?
No, is there nudity?
Oh, there is beyond nudity. Oh, they want to be dubbed the sexiest people ever.
Uh-huh. What, Argentinians or just the show?
Argentinians.
Okay. It's a
I
pretty
don't even
sexy
know what
place.
dance they were supposed to be doing.
Right.
But last week, this version of the something they were supposed to be doing, it
Right.
was a full on strip tease,
Wow.
rip the clothes off. They simulated every sexual act you could possibly imagine. And she ended up in a G string with no top, with him sucking on her
Whoa!
upper half.
Her
And the
upper
host finally
half.
came in and went,
Whoa!
"Hey, caramba," and like kicked the papers out of the way. And yeah, it's like, woo, okay, Argentina, you win. You're the hottest. They'll use you hot. It was full on simulated
That's
everything.
cool. I mean, that's awful.
Yeah. So,
Well,
is it porn or
well,
just an Argentinian pat down?
it's just an Argentinian TSA visit. And I'd love to go to an airport in Buenos Aires. Holy cow, that would be
Right?
great.
No, I'm sorry. You
Oh,
just need to stand here for
it's just so.
Give me your ass.
This thing is so.
Fat bats.
Oh crap! Well, I'm going to Argentina.
And I'm
That's all.
looking at porn.
Well, is that not like the best study ever? Did they really like they literally they were like, here's what I'm going to look up. I remember seeing some kind of literature at some point not too long ago where they were talking about how to discuss, like, it was, I don't know, it was, I guess, religious in nature or whatever, but they were basically telling people how to identify some sort of a sexual addiction in their partner. And they're like,
A sexual deviance.
yeah, they're like, I've caught my husband looking at naked photos online. What do I do? And it was literally like, get him into therapy. Um, have him talk to the pastor. Oh my gosh, it's hysterical. So yeah, 1 in 10 men, and as I say, 9 out of 10 men in the same study lie, apparently, because come on, it's the flipping internet. It's there. I don't know. I really have nowhere to go from that. Sharon, any any closing
I
remarks?
tried. I went to Argentina. I'm just saying. A lot of the reasons women don't like men. There's the other studies that men
Right.
think about sex and sexual things.
Constantly.
Once every 3 seconds, and with
Once
women,
every 3
it's once
seconds.
every
That's when
300
they're sleeping.
millennia. I don't know.
Yeah, once in every 300
Um,
millennia. Oh, good
but
times.
I think women feel threatened a lot,
By what?
and that's
Argentina?
why they. Those damn Argentinians and
They're
their
constantly ripping
sexiness.
clothes off. Right. So they feel
And they're
threatened, do you
all
think?
happy about it. And
They
they're
go to
not
the
fighting
airport
each
when
other, and they're loving and
they go to the
making.
airport when they don't need to go anywhere. Please, just do this for me. I need some time. I just was on the internet. I need to have some help now.
Listen, I have a headache. Can't you just go to?
Please, I don't feel like it. Go to the other guy. Please, just go through the scanner. I have a headache. I am so bored. I am.
Women
So
feel.
women.
I think a lot of women feel threatened. They feel like they
Okay.
don't want their other half to be. If they're looking at strippers or
Right.
they're looking at porn, or they're
Right.
that somehow that makes them inadequate. Which I say,
That's
sisters, it isn't
ridiculous.
true.
No.
But yeah, I think that's the problem, and men can't help themselves. Are like,
Sure. Well, I think that the numbers of
very
women looking
visual.
at it online are probably a lot higher than they admit to as well.
Well, but women are more cerebral, not
Right.
in an
No.
intelligence way. I don't mean
No.
that, but
That's not at all true. I've read that smutty novel stuff. There's nothing
yeah,
cerebral
see,
about it.
right?
Oh, it's just pure cheese. But yeah, I mean, I think that
Cheese can be cerebral.
here.
We don't just want a boob. Oh,
Right.
there's a men's ass. I'm excited. No,
Right.
no. There's got to be like, he brought his ass slowly towards me.
It's slowly toward me. It was chilly night, and that was a mistake. She is now in intensive care, recovering.
With a smile on her
With
face.
oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Here's
We should never write Harlequin.
no. It would be a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
We think we can't get anybody to listen to this. Nobody's gonna read our romance,
Oh, good Lord.
our pseudo Argentinian
Pseudo
porn.
Argentinian softcore smut. He brought his ass slowly toward her. It was burrito night.
See,
This was
that's much
a
more
mistake
exciting than
of
just the picture.
cataclysmic proportions. She is in intensive care in the burn unit. Oh, good
Wait,
Lord.
aren't half the people who listen to us in high school?
Yeah. You
The
know
rest
what?
have
And
left us. They're
no,
like gone. They're like,
listen,
see you later,
that
suckers.
level of comedy is exactly up their street. We are the jackass of podcasts.
Listen, I'm not stapling nothing. And my Argentinian butt isn't going to get stapled either. I need him.
Oh, good Lord. All right, let's move on.
Oh,
One
so
in
where do
10
you go
men.
from there?
Well, where else are you going to go? You're going to go where 1 in 10 men admit to hanging out and listening to. It's Ask Rich or Shaz. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, my stomach hurt.
That's just awesome. He brought
That's
his
funny.
ass slowly to her face. It was a bit of foreplay, of cataclysmic, epic failness.
I can just see this extra wide, hairy, like wide hipped butt backing in what he thinks is a sexy motion.
Straight out of the bath. So all the hair is just streaming down.
And it's in the wrong places and he doesn't know.
Yeah. What do you think of this? Please get it away from me. This is too much for me now.
Oh, good Lord.
It's classified as pornography in Argentina. It's Ask Richa Shaz. All right. We're back with thousands of questions, hundreds of tens of dozens of questions. We're not going to answer all of them. Zeros of answers. We're not going to answer all of them. We'll try to get to the ones that we can, but it's just so chock full of awesome that we'll have the awesome police after us in no time. I don't know.
One can only hope.
What do they even wear, the awesome police? They're fabulous. They look amazing. All right.
Picture Billy Clubs at the very least.
Billy, oh, yeah.
Billy Clubs is swinging.
Oh my gosh, that's getting dirty.
Bejeweled. What did you just say? But you were going to say bejeweled.
Bejeweled Billy Clubs. Swinging. Yeah, sounds dirty.
Ow.
All right. They've been to a... Never mind. Okay, so the first question
still in
up.
Argentina.
I'm still in Argentina. All right, first question up is from Sharon Henry. It was a video question, the sweet, adorable Sharon Henry, who apparently works at Sunglasses Hut, where I used to drop a lot of coin in the old days. Okay. She asks, what special traditions do we do for the holidays with our families? And she also was asking about what we're getting our kids. But of course, our kids are such ardent listeners to the show that we wouldn't want them to know what Santa's bringing them. Special traditions. Well, I actually proposed to my wife around the Christmas holidays. And so we go and get our tree on the anniversary of the proposal. So that's kind of one of the holiday traditions. Plus, we watch a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation about 25 times leading up to...
It's not Christmas, really, until the movie starts.
No, it is not Christmas until that movie starts. It is the best Christmas movie ever made. We watch it constantly, and it's where I learned everything I know about exterior illumination. Sharon, do you have what kind of special traditions I know you have a ton of them, but what are they?
No, we don't.
Yes, you do. You have those special Polish traditions that your dad brought from the old country.
When we hang
It's a
the
Christmas
hammers on the
tradition.
tree.
You hang hummus on the tree?
Hammers.
Hammers. You hang hammers on
Hammers.
the tree, which
Yeah.
is very good for the tree until it falls
Oh, wow.
over. Why did the tree fall over again? Why is the kid in intensive care? Well, the tree fell on him with the hammers. The hammer tree. It's awesome. An
The only
ex-rapper
the
turns up.
the only part of the Polish tradition I keep is lots of food.
Yeah.
So pierogies. I have pierogies every day
Mm.
on Christmas. So every
Right.
year,
Yeah.
Christmas Day, I have pierogies. I
Uh-huh.
like to have naleśniki,
Yeah.
and some cabbage rolls. And
Yeah.
so really I like about the food, but it gets a little tricky when the kids don't eat, but they'll suffer a pierogi or two.
Yeah.
Um, we don't have a lot yet. Like Alex is just going to be 3 in March, so
Right.
he's just starting to get it, and it's actually very cute because he's been running around going, "Oh, Mama, yes, Alex, I've been so rude. You have. I'm getting cold. Mama, I'm getting cold. I've been a rude boy." And it's like, no, no, Alex, you're a
I've
good
been
boy. You're a
rude.
good boy. It's okay to have rude behavior. Everybody fights and everybody.
He
It's
curses
so
like a
rude.
sailor
Yeah.
with lots of avasts and ahoys.
So, we do a few things. We read like "Twas the Night Before Christmas," "The Night
Right.
Before Christmas," how original.
Sure.
And we do some, video things from Santa. The things you can do with Santa now, it's
Yeah.
amazing. You can get these videos where
Yeah.
very personalized videos. So we track Santa on NORAD and we
Sure.
give them the videos from Santa and we read the thing and
Yeah.
they get an ornament and new PJs. And
See,
so
these are
that's
all
our tradition
traditions.
so far.
You got a ton of traditions.
Tons.
Tons of them. Yeah, no, we do the same thing. And then the girls write their letters to Santa because he is a Canadian citizen, you know. He lives up in the North Pole, which
Yeah,
we, of
and he
course,
writes
own.
back.
He writes back, yeah,
Oh,
which is
we
awesome.
own the Russians and what do you
The,
call them? The Greenlandians?
the Danes, essentially. Yeah, they
Right.
keep trying to say, oh, we own it. But we're like, well, we're currently here. So bring it, y'all. Um, we've planted a
Weren't they the
flag.
precursors to the Vikings too, though?
Well,
The
we don't need to
Danes.
talk about that. Yes, yes. Well,
Sorry,
actually,
just
yeah,
I'm just saying.
the Vikings had a settlement in Newfoundland many, many years before a certain Mr. Columbus turned up, but we won't talk about that. Yeah.
No. So
Uh
jingle jingle,
jingle jingle.
we own
Happy
Santa.
Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa. Um all right, Larry Spahala Jr. Been some time since I've asked something of Richard Shaz, so I was wondering, is a one-armed person ambidextrous? No, because you'd need two of something to be dexterous. So, I mean, if he could write with both feet, I suppose he could be ambipodiatrist. Sharon, what do you think? What's your verdict?
Yeah, no, but
No,
funny question.
it's a great
I
question. I
liked
love
it.
it.
I
I
liked it
love
very
it.
much, but no,
No,
you left
no,
or right. Which
no.
arm is
Come
missing?
on.
I don't know.
No. Does that make a difference?
Right? Well, yes.
You know what? Yes. If you were right-handed, then you lose your right hand and you've learned to write with your left hand, you could be retroactively
What do you mean?
ambidextrous.
Does that make a difference?
Sure, it does.
So, if a person is missing an arm, does that make a difference?
No, no. You said, is it his right or his left that he's missing?
Right.
Right.
If
So
he's
that's what I'm
missing his
saying.
left arm, then he's right-handed. He doesn't have a choice at
No,
that point.
exactly. All right, listen,
All right.
Megan
Woo.
Scopoliti. Do you guys watch any YouTube bloggers like Shane Dawson, Shay Carl, the Shay Tards, and the like? Apparently, they need to start with the first name Shay something. Shane, Shay Tard. And if so, who do you watch? No, I don't watch any YouTube bloggers. I should, I'm guessing. I work, old Pat the Moose is the only guy I watch on YouTube. And myself, when people post YouTube videos of me from different conventions, and I read the comments where people rip me apart for taking too long to read the line. I'm sorry. Good Lord. It's hysterical, Sharon. I got to tell you, the number of people who apparently dislike me and the cut of my jib based on the fact that I have a sense of humor. And apparently they don't. So, no, I don't really. Sharon, do you watch any YouTube bloggers?
If people take the time to dislike you,
Yeah. Yes.
you've made it.
Either that or
Right?
they really need to get out of the house.
Oh, right. If they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, no. No, apparently there was a thing the other day. There's a few Canadian bloggers,
Mhm.
video bloggers that have quite the following, but no. There's only one YouTube blogger, and she'll kick my ass for saying this, but
Right.
it's Coco LaRue if you're
Yes,
into
Linda.
makeup.
Yeah.
And that's the only person I follow.
Our very good friend.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Totally follow her.
Totally. Coco
Totally.
LaRue.
Coco LaRue, eh?
KO.
Okay.
L-A-R, I
That's
don't
my
know, you,
Larue, isn't it?
E?
Yes, like Johnny LaRue, SCTV. Okay, it's Gary Richard Collins II. Now, listen, I'm going to guess this is about Mickey. Before I've even read it, I'm going to get. Oh, yep, it's about Mickey. Now, he says, I have a new question for episode 17, which breaks into two parts. Number one, in his 70s, while Mickey Rooney was heavily involved in the aspect of working long hours on the Black Stallion, off the set, did he also give you some hard biblical stories for being the born again Christian that he was and still is a Christian? No, I never got any hard biblical stories from Mickey. But no, no hard biblical stories. And number two, on his 90th birthday, his wife Jen threw a wonderful birthday party for him, where she invited Regis Philbin and Donald Trump. Was Mickey very humbled to have a blessed career? I would guess so. I wasn't at the party, so it didn't come up between us because I wasn't there. But I would imagine so. He's had an amazing career. I would imagine that he's pretty humbled about it. All right, Stacy Mahoney. She has a two-part question. First part, are you planning on coming to Anime Detour this year? Nope. And if not, why? They didn't invite me. But if they invited me, then I will come. I think a lot of people, maybe this is a time to talk about it. I and most voice actors get invited to conventions. We don't generally just show up on our own. Yeah, so I do get a lot of those, why aren't you at such and such a one? Or you should totally come to this one. I would love to come to pretty much all of them. But that's the only tricky bit is that I haven't been invited. And I'm such a Canadian that I won't even try to surreptitiously invite myself. I'll just wait around crying in a room somewhere until I get invited. Um In fact, I put the challenge out to you. If both of us are more than willing to come to Anime Detour and bring the show with us. Would you like to go to Anime Detour, Sharon?
Ow! Ow.
Ow!
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
We're there.
yeah.
We're there. We're not sure where it is,
But
but we're
I'm an
there.
early,
I think it's somewhere in the south, isn't it?
I'm an early kind of computer anime girl.
Right.
Who would want me? I'm not,
They would want you.
you know.
They will want you. Yeah, on the strength of your work and also on the strength of the show on Richard Ian Cox, which is going to be rebranded soon to something else.
Y'all just need me to keep Richard in line, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. She's got a taser. Um, all right, second part. When is Inuyasha the final act due to be released in English? I honestly don't know, but I believe somebody wikied it and found out, and there was an answer on there. So you could probably actually tell me. Yeah, but check it out. Go to Wikipedia and search Inuyasha the final act, and I think it's listed there.
Does
Um,
Toshi get this much harassment, or is he a low enough profile?
well, Tosh didn't. Wasn't the producer on this one. Now he's with Pokemon Company now in Seattle, just south of us here in Vancouver. So
Oh.
that's a pretty shiny, cool gig, I would have to say. Pokemon is just about the biggest anime out there. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know what just happened to me. All right, Amanda Bounds Moffat. Question. You. I love how my computer breaks these things up. All right, question. Are you or Sharon a Starbucks fan? And if so, what is your favorite drink? I personally have a Starbucks issue and go there way too much myself. Love your show and all the acting you two do. Thanks for contributing a page for your fans. Oh, well, you're more than welcome. I am not a huge Starbucks fan. I used to be in the old days. I used to drink a fair amount of Starbucks, and then I suddenly went, "Wait a minute! I'm paying $4 for coffee," and then I stopped. But I'm a Timmy's guy. I drink a good amount of Timmy's coffee. And the occasional Starbucks. Like this time of the year, I might go by Starbucks a couple times to have one of the eggnog lattes. In the summer, I might drop by to have a cafe vanilla frap. But really, I don't drink a lot of Starbucks. Sharon?
Well, I was always Starbucks and
Yeah.
some Timmy's, and now I've moved to the True North Strong and Free, where there is only a Timmy's,
Yeah.
and it's freaking freezing.
Yeah.
But they don't have fancy stuff, so
No.
my home coffee is Timmy's, and
Yeah.
I drive through the Timmy's, and
Yeah.
but I just had my first. Okay, last year, remember I started jogging
Yeah.
and exercising,
Yeah.
and you have high cholesterol, and all that's gone out the window. So I stopped having cream and sugar in my
Right.
coffee and just having a little bit of milk.
Right.
So I've been trying to wean down the amount of milk too. And
Yeah.
my husband bought me, for the first time ever, he bought me an Americano.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best coffee ever. What is this? It's a shot of espresso with some
Some hot
hot
water.
water.
Yeah.
It's like yeah. So I finally, to me, that was the holy grail. So Starbucks, I love because I need the Americano.
Right. Yeah,
I've
an
just
Americano
learned
is
to
a nice
accept
drink.
it and appreciate it and enjoy it. No more sweet, sugary double.
I hear you. Okay, so
No, you don't,
no, I don't.
Mister Triple Triple.
Triple triple. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a good time. It's a good thing. I actually just did an ad campaign for McDonald's coffee, for the radio, and we went to McDonald's and talked to people and said, "Hey, you're drinking a McDonald's coffee. Tell us about it." During the free coffee promotion, and I drank a lot of free McDonald's coffee, and it's good. I have to
It
tell you,
is.
it's
It's
good.
become
They changed it.
a
It's
lot
very
better.
very good. So yeah, I'm a fan of the McDonald's coffee as well these days, and it's inexpensive, which is good. So there's a little plug for my latest ad campaign thing, which I hope should be on the radio soon. Lauren Booton, I have asked this earlier, but it's been consumed by the feed. Oh man, I love the idea of that. That our feed is just so ravenous it consumes questions and poops out silk. Why does that's for Sharon? Why does fridge have a G in it? No, wait. I think she means why does fridge have a D in it, but refrigerator doesn't? Why are we adding letters to the shortening of a word? No wonder people misspell things so often. I think you've got a
Kicks
great
my
point.
ass too. That has
Yeah.
always bugged me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't have an answer other than if I remove the D, then it becomes frige.
Other than laziness.
Yeah. Just say the whole word refrigerator. How hard is that? Refrigerator. Here's my question. Why is abbreviate such a long word?
But you know what's weird is fridge
Huh?
is the shortened version of
Yes.
refrigerator. So why would you be
Why would you
adding
add
an
a D? I
extra
don't know.
letter?
I don't know. I don't know. But I think we missed a really funny thing that Richard said earlier.
Right, yes.
Sharon's like, I've
And
heard that.
back
I've
to you.
heard that in 1987 at the Chuckle Hut. That's
And
ridiculous.
action.
And action, scene, and rap. Oh, it's the party. Woo!
No, what did we miss?
Oh,
Action.
sorry. Right. Um, it is so late right now. We were recording at 5 in the morning. My time, which makes it midnight, Sharon's. We live in weird time zones. All right. Jesselyn Deanna Zondra Peters. Why does Jesselyn Deanna Zondra Peters have so many names? I think that's the question that Lauren should have asked. All right. She says, all right. Sheesh, I'll ask a question, but I warn you, it may be a little controversial. Oh, yes. Way to bring us down, Jesselyn. Uh, why do women get special centers in charity, but men don't, such as child custody, abuse center, shelter, and the like? You two may not want to delve into this subject, but since the sky is the limit, right? Right? Yeah, well, this becomes a very serious question suddenly. Honestly, well, I think that there is more of a need, to be kind of honest with you, in terms of the abuse centers and shelters and all that kind of stuff. So, I think there's definitely more of a need, and I think unfortunately that with the rates of potential abuse out there, that moms and women and children need somewhere to be able to get away, and I don't think that the rates of abuse toward men or husbands is nearly as big an epidemic. So maybe there just isn't the need. I think that child custody stuff and centers for kids. I think there are equal parts out there. But yeah, Sharon, do you have a take on that? Got really serious in the middle of everything.
No, I agree. And I can't remember who it is, and I'm sorry, but whoever responded and quoted the scripture after cracked me up. So go back to our Facebook page and read it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that basically living with a wrathful woman is, gonna carry you too much scorn. I
It's
howled
funny.
when I saw that they posted that.
I think
But
that was Jesselyn's friend Robin who posted that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
but yeah,
right, Robin. Okay.
there you go. There's the answer. Go check it out. It's in the
But
comment
yeah,
feed.
right. How often do you hear about men being beaten by their women and they're running away with their
Right.
kids and they're trying to find a place for them to live? You
Yeah.
just don't hear about it.
No, and I'm sure
It's
it happens. I mean, I know that there are cases of abuse and back and forth and whatnot, but yeah, it's obviously not as much of an epidemic. So, yeah, yeah. But I agree. I agree with you, Sharon. I think it just doesn't. It doesn't really hit the newspapers all that much. We don't really hear so much about it because, I don't think that there's as much a need. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's try to bring ourselves back up. Let's buoy ourselves, as it were. That's right, right? We buoy
yeah, buoy.
buoy. Let's buoy ourselves. Watch out for the buoy. Ashley Conlon, she says, "Hey, Richard Shaz. Okay, my question. I love that people start off with all right, like they're limbering up. They've got to limber up to ask the question. Okay, my question is, how do you like the new? Oh, we've talked about this. How do you like the new airline airport security? And would you ever get on another plane
Right.
again?
We talked about this. Yes, you can feel
Yes,
me up if it's for the
yes,
greater good.
that's all right. If it's the hot brunette in the corner,
Y'all need
TSA
to touch
lineup.
my titties to know there's no bomb. I'll and because you know it's not here. I'm a Canadian, and if I want to
I
fly
know.
into your country, you have to feel me up.
Yes, that's our rule.
Right?
The TSA doesn't want anything to do with us. Our guys are like, just
Right?
get on the plane. We're like, no, you will feel me up.
Yeah, right?
I wore these pants. I worked out for a month before
You
getting on this
must
plane.
touch my
You will touch.
Argentinian ass. I'm just saying.
All right. Bella Valdez. Here's a suggestion for the show. How about play more music?
That was my Dancing with the Stars music.
Was
by
that
the
your
way.
Dancing with Your
Do,
Stars?
do, 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 do.
Okay, then nothing says sexy like 8-bit music from an old video game. Do, 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 do.
From an old ditty, no less.
Yeah. Okay, Bella suggests that we play more music, and specifically Rob Zombie's Dragula Hot Rod Herman remix. Hey, listen, I like Rob Zombie's Dragula Hot Rod Herman remix as much as the next guy. But yeah, I played a couple songs on here when I was flouting the law a long time ago.
A couple.
We're not actually allowed
Your
to do
whole
that.
show was a song.
My whole show is a song for a while, which
They're
was
like,
actually
hey, F
really
you.
entertaining. Yeah, I was
Here's
like,
the
screw
song.
you, the man. I'm going to play music. I've thought about playing songs like from indie artists, which would be a lot of fun. I've got a friend who I posted it on the fan page, on my fan page, who did a remix of Scissor Sisters. A Scissor Sisters song because they had put the word out saying, "Hey, redo our song and redo a video, and you might actually wind up being in the new version of the video." So I'd like to play stuff like that, but yeah, we can't legally play music because we don't have the rights to play it, and we have to pay them every time. Those darn artists expecting money. But yeah, so if they're indie artists or those sorts of things, then yeah, definitely. I mean, we can talk to people and say, "Hey, here's a brand new one from Billy Bob's Billy Bob Land," and it would be a terrible band. They better have good music. They better be a jug band with a name like that. Billy Bob's Billy Bob Music Factory. Who who. Cut, Richard. We got wind on the mic. What? What do you mean? All right, that's only going to be funny to engineers and your husband. Okay. So there you go.
We just need to stop now.
Amy Jean Gordon. Amy
Oh,
Jean.
Amy Jean, of
Amy
course you were
Jean.
next.
What is your
Like
problem?
Richard, I gotta go to bed. We're done. Nope, Amy Jean is coming.
Amy
up.
Jean's got a question. I love that Amy Jean's like, I'm too nervous to get onto the video to do my question.
Oh,
Cut back
shut
a few weeks. This is me dancing in my
up. I
carport
know, right?
in Oklahoma. Here I am dancing. Look at me go!
Right, full routine.
Yeah, full routine and no a broken ankle. Yeah, so Amy, ow, snap my ankle. Gordon, yeah, so she doesn't have video for it. So what up with that? What up with that? What up with that? Okay, again, the 4 people who still watch SNL with me will know that, and They will laugh and laugh. Okay. She says, I don't have a video question because, well, I'm too shy to talk on camera, not too shy to dance on camera or break my ankle on camera. Um, my question is probably the girliest question I've ever been asked on the show, but bring it on. My question is, what do you think about Prince William's engagement? I think it's wonderful and I'm happy for him. She says, Sharon, what do you think of Prince Willie's engagement?
I agree. I think it's wonderful.
I think it's
They
adorable.
met in college, and yes,
Sure.
I know all this stuff, but she's the same age, and they've
Yeah.
had time to grow, and they've broken
Yeah.
up, and they've been together, and
Sure.
she's not this virginal 19-year
No.
old kindergarten teacher, with the
With a great
crown
head
was
of
trying to
hair.
keep her stuff down, and she's her own woman, and I think it's exciting. Yes,
Yeah.
stuff down.
Yeah. Keep her stuff down. She's a bulimic. Now I think it's great because she's hot, and that's really. No, I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's he's getting married right before the all the hair goes, and which I think is a good thing. No, I can't joke about that. My hair is going too. No, I think it's great. I think it's fabulous. My mom, well, we are British, so my mom was over the moon about the whole proposition. So, yeah, I think it's great. I agree, Amy Jean. I think it's wonderful as well. Karen Santora, she's got a video question. Oh, this is gonna get Sharon going. Good Lord, Karen. And thank you. Thank you for your video question. It was a great video question. You do actually look like Mrs. Palin, but you're way prettier. Huh? Huh?
Yes.
See, there you go. Now, which is true, by the way. No, her question is my question for the show is why people who are talentless, like Bristol Palin, are able to be on television when there are so much more worthwhile people out there that are more intellectually and artistically stimulating than her and celebrities like her. I agree. Yeah, no, listen, I don't like the fact that someone's parents are famous or grandfather was famous and started a hotel and and all these. I don't like that they're particularly super famous because they haven't really achieved. They are literally famous for being famous, and yeah, it's kind of irritating. But at the end of the day, I don't really get myself all up in a flap about it too much. I just find them vaguely irritating. It's the thing isn't fame. I don't mind people being famous, obviously. My issue is, as I've said before, is when people start to buy into it and they actually believe that there's something particularly special about them. Like if I was famous strictly because a parent was famous or, that sort of thing, I would be kind of embarrassed, to be really famous. And I'd kind of want to try to do something useful with myself as opposed to, what a lot of them do. Sharon, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I agree. Um, it's very much what the culture is about right now, and
Yeah.
Bristol was about ratings,
Yeah.
and she brought in more ratings. And since you asked that question, you saw what happened. I mean, some dude shot his freaking TV out with a
Enrage.
shotgun because he was so mad she was still on there,
I know.
and
That's
she's
somebody
like, "But
getting too
I
wrapped up
improved,
in it.
I improved, I improved." But people, Carrie Ann, the judge, said that she thinks that no more Palins should go on the show, and no more people of that ilk,
Yeah.
because it detracted. And I completely agree,
Yeah. Oh
because
yeah,
people were
definitely.
voting for a party and a political statement,
Yeah.
and I think that's why Bristol stayed on the show so long.
Of course.
But yeah, right. And that nobody was tuning in rather just to see the dancing. They were trying to make some statement. I'm a conservative. I'm a tea partier. I'm a tea bagger. I'm a Oh wait, sorry,
Nothing
that was
better
the
than the
Argentinian
teabaggers. No, no,
dancing.
no.
The
Listen,
stars would
hey,
be the tea bagger.
I
Yeah,
don't think there's any secret here. I call them teabaggers all the
yeah, right. And scene.
time. you know,
So fuck it.
I whoa, yeah. No,
Oh,
I listen.
oh,
I agree,
oh,
and I also think more than that. I think people were voting because they were trying to be trolls. They were trying to keep
yeah.
her in there, not because they liked her, but because they knew it was going to drive everybody else nuts. The same people who on American Idol vote for the worst
That's a good point.
that they're doing the exact same thing to vote for. I guarantee, I don't know if there was or not, but I guarantee somewhere on Reddit there was a string about
The same
vote
people
for
who
Palin.
thumb you down on an internet news story about
Yeah, yeah,
somebody
yeah.
losing their family, they're like,
Yeah.
"That sucks,"
Yeah,
and you're like,
totally.
"You screw you."
They're
They
losers. They're losers,
yeah.
right out, straight up. All trolls are losers. They've got nothing better to do with their time than, yeah, try to cause havoc on the thing.
Yeah.
And they're
And
the
and
same
and
people who wouldn't even look you in the eye in real life. They're the same people, you know?
mm,
But yeah.
yeah, so and Karen, I'm sorry. You do look like her. You do, but you're much more gorgeous. You're
Uh-huh.
beautiful, but
Yeah.
as soon as you did your video thing, and I'm so glad you did, but as soon as you did, I was like, "Oh, fuck, she looks like her." You look like Sarah Palin,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Obviously, I think you have a much more intelligent brain too. So my apologies and my hats off too.
Yeah, we're big fans, Karen Santora.
Yeah, big
Big
fans.
fans. All right. Joanna Enriquez, who we're also big fans of. These last two questions kind of lead one into the other. So Joanna Enriquez asked it, and Robin Christensen asked it. Robin Christensen also wanted to say, and this is fabulous. We all owe her a big round of applause for this. She said that early on in the show, obviously, she had asked us advice about jogging, wanted to get out there and started jogging. And so we gave some advice and she started jogging. And she said that since then she's lost 30 pounds. 30
Whoa!
pounds.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Ow! That is fantastic. You should be so proud of yourself.
Oh, so
Fantastic. Isn't
proud.
that cool? Yes, I hope everybody took a time there to give her a
Awesome.
big congratulations and a big round of applause.
Awesome.
The
Good
two
for
of them,
you.
Joanna and Robin, both asked, are the holidays starting earlier each year? What's going on? Joanna said she was out in the store. Now, this is when she posted it in late November. She was out in the malls and the music was already going. And Robin is asking, the commercialization of Christmas, is it too much and is it too early? And, I'm going to take probably a contrarian position here, but I really like Christmas. It's my favorite holiday in the year that doesn't involve sun. And I kind of like we start it kind of early. Like as soon as the
Right?
Halloween
That's what
stuff
I
is
was gonna
down.
say.
Yeah, as soon as the Halloween stuff is down, we start her up. And since we've already had our Thanksgiving in October, we're really into it. So by the time, yeah, by the time we're ramping up to American Thanksgiving, we're right in there. We're right in there. We've
See,
already started listening to the music.
it would bug me too if I was an American and I haven't had my. Okay. Cut. I know I sound like a turkey. There's one for the outtakes.
Were you doing the reverse voice? It sounded like a turkey.
Yes,
I love the
exactly. It totally sounds like
Did that sound like I was going backwards? Gobble, 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 gobble. Gobble, 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 gobble. I am going backwards. Gobble, 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 gobble.
oh my god.
Okay, try that again.
Okay, the fact that we have set expectations. We have Halloween,
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and there's
Yeah.
like a good period of time between them. We don't have to, wait until Thanksgiving until the end of November.
Right.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter.
You know what?
Wait, no, it should because I'm on the
Oh,
air.
that's
I'm on
funny.
the air.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know what? I think it's probably a little bit too early. And the commercialization, I don't know. I think it's been commercialized for so long. Like, that image of Santa that we all have, that was actually created by Coca-Cola in the 30s. Like that image that's on like the
No,
big
no, that's
yes.
a misconception.
No, like that
The only thing they did was change the color of his suit.
right.
That's it.
But the modern version, like the Père Noël and like Father Christmas and all that kind of stuff. Like for the British tradition, he's not a big roly poly jolly, fat guy. He's he's an old man with a
Well,
long
it makes sense he got fat in America.
he's old. Mrs. Claus is feeding him full of stuff. But that, anyways. But yeah. I mean, you're right. It changes the thing. But that the iconography, iconography, the iconic aspect of the whole deal. Yeah, it's kind of it's made up anyways. Really, I mean, it's an amalgam of all these different beliefs and all these different sort of figures and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's always been
It's a
commercialized.
pagan holiday combined with a
Hmm.
Christian sensibility,
Yeah.
and I've had a few people lately in my life who not directly by any means, but have questioned Santa Claus's validity and said, "Don't you think this is the most mean thing you could do to your children?"
Right.
And I've thought about it and I've looked at my little 2-year-old who twice over the last 2 days has said, "Oh, mama, I'm rude. I'm going to get coal in my stocking." And I don't say that to him,
Right.
but he's learned it.
Sure.
We have talked about it and we watched the Polar Express and we did it.
Yeah.
We, um, and my 6-year-old who is like, this Santa's fake and this Santa's real and this Santa's a helper and this Santa belongs and this Santa doesn't. And
Right.
I look at them and I think, really, am I doing them a disservice?
No.
Am I making them into poor citizens by saying that if they're not nice and they are nice and they're going to have this and they're not going to have that? I
Right.
hate when people take it to that level. It's like, you know what? Enjoy Santa. You're good kids,
Yeah.
and
You know what? I agree. And I think that at the end of the day, the thing that we need to come back to with all of this stuff that becomes controversial when we get older about how we deal with our kids and the political correctness and everything else that goes along to the today is to say, well, I went through the same deal. Am I scarred irreparably from this? No, of course not. I'm not scarred irreparably from the idea that, Santa is real one minute and who knows what the next. And, that doesn't, I still have wonderful memories of my childhood and all of these sorts of things. And everybody goes through that passage of, well, maybe they start to, think things out a little bit differently. But no, I don't think there's anything negative about it. And there's also nothing wrong with saying, hey, look, you behave yourself or there's going to be some repercussions.
is there anything beyond scarred irreparably? I mean, is there any just straight joy from it?
Of course. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I think from the Christmas aspect, I don't think I'm scarred in any way, shape, or form from, the whole Santa thing or anything like that. No, absolutely not.
Now I'm just depressed. I need
I
to
think
watch
I
Polar
think
Express or something.
I think just generally people need to nut up a little and stop whining. Just and that's my favorite expression these days. Nut up. That or buck up, buttercup. Come on, let's keep going here. Yeah, no, I think it's all good stuff. Don't second guess yourself. Your kids love Santa, and Santa's a good time. And my kids love Santa. They talk about him. And Abby in the car today as we're driving Becky to work, and she keeps going, "That's Santa Claus? Is that Santa Claus?" Like she keeps, in her
See,
own head pretending she's seeing him, and it's exciting for her. So all of it's fun. Yeah, there's
which I
nothing.
feel like everybody wants to take the magic out of the world.
They
They want
do.
to take it out
Of course they do.
everywhere,
Yeah, and I blame WikiLeaks.
right?
Come on back and we're going to wrap this up.
Okay. Oh, ow.
Well, that's it. That's another show for another week. Yes, I'm pretending we record these things weekly. This is our Christmas Hannah Kwanzaa
Hannah
show.
Christmas
Yeah.
Kwanzaa mess.
I think it was a great show. I think we had a good time. We laughed a lot. We were a little silly. We've loosened the shackles just a little bit on this show. We're not
Did
quite
we?
as
Did we
yeah.
really?
Listen, we
Or
talked
did
about
that all happen when we
yeah.
didn't record?
No, listen, we started talking about Argentinian dancing porn. I think that really took us over the edge.
Stop.
We're not we're
Ew.
we're a little crazier than maybe you remember as last time. But I think that's the tone of the show. The show wants to be a little less constrained and a little more goofy. I love that people are sitting here going, "What? It wasn't goofy before? Where the hell are we going with this thing?" I'm dressed as a chicken and you're listening to the show on richardiancox.com. Listen.
And that's a good direction.
Yeah.
Keep that in.
Chicken costumes, nothing wrong with that. I'm recording naked and you're listening to the show.
Even better.
I forced you into auditory porn. Okay, now, you had no idea. We'll drop that right at the end of one episode. By the way...
Hey, so that has nothing to do with Christmas.
No, it has nothing to do with Christmas.
Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. We're too late for Hanukkah.
Well, listen,
night.
today is
You're
the
not
last
gonna-
day. This is 11:30 at night on the 8th. It's the last day. We got a half hour before we're all done. So if I hope you had a great Hanukkah, if that's what the holiday means to you, and if it means Christmas, then I hope you have a phenomenal Christmas coming up. And if it means anything else, then I hope you have a wonderful holiday in general, no matter what you're celebrating. Please do tell your friends about the show and invite them to our page on Facebook if you haven't already, and if you feel comfortable doing so. If you're a little nervous about telling the pastor that you want him to come and listen to Argentinian butt porn, then yeah, probably not. Do check out our blogs at thegalds.blogspot.com and at Richard Cox's blog at blogspot.com. Also check me out at richardiancox.com, as you may well be doing that right now if you're not listening to us on iTunes, where you'd love to listen and rate us, I'm sure. I am on Twitter. I do not anymore have the personal page on Facebook, but I do have a like page on Facebook if you want to come and like me there. And thanks. I know that a lot of people have added me as a friend again on Facebook, and it's not personal. It wasn't you. I removed a lot of people just so I could move people over to a fan page, so that I could kind of reclaim that for my personal page. So yeah, I just want to put that out there again. Merry Christmas. And for the show, I'm Richard Cox. Any last words, Sharon?
I'm just... Merry Christmas. Yes, I'm Sharon Alexander.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Take care.